So, as you guys know, I as well as many other YouTubers have speculated since episode 4 that Anakin is now taking the role of the father, and many of the same people, including myself, speculated that the greater power that called to Balin in episode 6 was Abeloth. And people thought we were crazy and would always say stuff like, oh, Disney would never do anything cool with Star Wars again. People are raiding way too far into this and Dave cannot do anything cool. Star Wars is dead. Well, guess what? All these people got served a sweet and satisfying dish of I told you so.
I told you so!
Just kidding, guys, it's not that deep. I don't really care what you thought about it. But we did get confirmation that the greater power has to do with the Mortis gods. I do believe truly that we have just gotten confirmation that Anakin is indeed the father. I will go into all the new Balin stuff we got later into the video. But anyways, if you have seen my video about why Anakin is finally taking his place as the father on Mortis, you know why I believe he is, and I will be bringing up a lot of the same points now. For starters, Anakin is definitely not just in Ahsoka's head in episode 5. We got confirmation of that when Ahsoka tells Anakin that she will not fight him, and Anakin says he has heard that before. And no, this is not just a reference to what Ahsoka said to Vader in Rebels, because Ahsoka said, I won't leave you. Not this time. Not, I will not fight you. Those are two completely different statements. Anakin is referring to the time when he was Vader and fought against Luke. And Luke said, I won't fight you, father, in the same context. Another point to this is if you have seen the behind the scenes footage Disney put out about the training for episode 5, Hayden Christensen says to Dave Filoni that it's nice that Anakin says this to Ahsoka as a recollection of, oh, where have I heard this before? Also, it's important to note that the father from Mortis is both light and dark. When Anakin's lesson failed to reach Ahsoka in the light side, he had to teach her in a different way, aka the dark side, to finally draw out of Ahsoka what he needed to. Now, in episode 8, we see Anakin as a Force ghost within the living Force, wearing his dark robes he wore in Revenge of the Sith. If he were wearing his light side robes from Return of the Jedi Special Edition, I would probably agree that Anakin is just a Force ghost. But since he is wearing his dark robes, I think it's obvious that he has now taken his role as the father on Mortis, just as the prophecy said he would. Now, moving on to Balin, and one of the biggest questions that this finale leaves us with, which is, what do the Mortis gods want with Balin? Well, I think that Balin will take his role of the son, and this is also connected to Ahsoka herself. Why? Because I believe that when Anakin finally showed Ahsoka how to be okay with her destiny and to trust in the Force, he leads her to Peridia, and it was within her destiny to stay there. I think Anakin smiled at the end of the episode because now he has his family where they are needed to be to proceed. He has Ahsoka there to take her role as the daughter, and Balin there to take his role as the son, and possibly to face off against Abeloth. The reason I still believe that it is Abeloth that is the greater threat is that the glowing that Balin looks out to and what the statue of the original Mortis father are pointing at, I believe this is possibly where the font of power and pool of knowledge are located, and perhaps Abeloth is there waiting for them to start a fight. Or maybe Shin becomes Abeloth by drinking the font of power and bathing in the pool of knowledge that Abeloth did in the expanded universe. Either way, I could see this playing out in one of three ways. One, the Mortis gods are now about to fight Abeloth, with Balin, Ahsoka, and Anakin all being the new Mortis gods. Or two, they still become the Mortis gods, but they now want to end the cycle of destruction that both the Empire and the New Republic bring, going back to what Balin mentioned in episode 4 to Ahsoka about both of them bringing death and destruction. Or, number 3, that this story of the new Mortis gods will not have anything to do with them trying to create peace or stop the threat, and that's their own story, with the Thrawn story possibly leading to the greater threat trying to take over, and maybe, just maybe, Thrawn gets killed by Luke after Thrawn warns him about the greater threat, to which Luke finally sees and realizes what Thrawn was trying to prevent after Luke kills him. The only issue that I have with the theory number 2 that I mentioned is that I just remembered all of this leads to the sequel trilogy. So, that means they have not brought peace, at least to at this time they have not. I don't exactly know what will happen. As I mentioned before, this is all just theories and speculation based off the fact the Mortis gods are now 100% involved in this story. Let me know what you think could happen down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and force choke that subscribe button to join the family of the Jedi. And as I always say, Jesus loves each and every one of you, and may the Force be with you all.